Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you every week for tuning in to see what I have to say on What's Up Wednesday, where we talk about everything mental health. We talk about love, relationships, parenting, colorism, my black is beautiful. We talk about everything. So join the conversation. So, this week, like I said, we are doing My Black is Beautiful. And we are honoring African American treasures. But for the month of Women's Month, we also have a special shout out to my girl, Aretha Franklin. I love me some Aretha Franklin. Do you guys like Aretha Franklin? Did you grow up on Aretha Franklin? Honey, all those great hits, Saturday mornings, getting up, cleaning, doing your chores and dancing to the music going through your house. That was everything. Okay? Also, Aretha Franklin, if you didn't know, I know you do. Some of you youngsters don't know. She grew up in Detroit. Yeah, Detroit. She lived around the corner from Smokey Robinson. Yeah, I mean, that's just phenomenal to live around the corner from great artists like Diana Ross and, just the OJs and the Temptations. And you're just like, oh my goodness, that is just amazing. She was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1987. Miss Franklin crossed over to music videos. Remember the Blues Brothers, that video in the cafe? Baby, she was working it, wasn't she? Everybody was like moving around, watching that video. I love that video. That video is really cute. Another video and song that I like of Miss Franklin is Pink Cadillac. See, I got my little pink fuchsia on from Miss Franklin. And Miss Franklin, when she passed away, Mary Kay, remember Mary Kay is the people who had a black Cadillac. So someone called the corporate office and asked, could they honor Miss Franklin with the pink Cadillacs? So if you didn't see the video, go back and watch her video of the funeral because they were lined up. It was beautiful. It just brought chills for somebody to honor her like that. And I remember watching the funeral as well. And she had her legs crossed. I was like, oh my God, this is a phenomenal woman, a classy woman. I just love Miss Aretha Franklin. My other person that I have a shout out is Ida B. Wells. Do you guys know Ida B. Wells? She was a pioneer African American journalist, educator, civil rights advocate, known for anti-lynching, the crusade, advocate for racial equality. Ida B. Wells was born July 16, 1862, in Hollow Springs, Mississippi, into slavery. She was freed as an infant following the emancipation. And tragically, in 1878, Wells lost both of her parents and a brother. But she was about 16 years old when she took on the role of parenting the rest of her siblings. Despite hardship, she went on and she earned a degree at Russ College and later became a teacher and supported her family. So, hey. Also, I have to announce, and she's also one of the phenomenal ladies. Once I say her name, you'll know, but she passed away on Monday, Miss Kiki Shepard. We honor American treasure, Miss Kiki Shepard. Remember, she was on Apollo, at Showtime at the Apollo, and she came out. She would come out so suave, the beautiful, beautiful nightgowns. I mean, she had some beautiful, elegant nightgowns. She come up with that. I said she would walk like Morticia from the Addams Family because she would just swivel and she would just glide across the stage. She did Apollo, I did not know, from 1987 to 2002, 15 years straight. But she also created the MS Foundation. No, not MS, I'm sorry. The Sickle Cell Foundation called KIS, raising an awareness for family support and patients. I'm sorry about that. So, also she's tall and slim. She was a Morehouse. I know everybody would know a Morehouse girl, but she died on Monday of a heart attack. She was doing so many different things in the community. Sherry Shepherd, she was really close to Sherry Shepherd. She was just close to so many people. And I remember maybe about last year, and I was like, what happened to Kiki? And all of a sudden she appeared, and she was doing a lot of different things. So she died of a heart attack, and that is the number one killer in African American women. So make sure to get yourself checked. Take care of yourself, your health, women. So today, I did say we are going to talk about My Black is Beautiful. Yes. But we're going to talk about, I decided I wanted to talk about colorism. Because we need to really be very conscious of colorism, be very conscious of things that we say. So where did colorism come? It's a silent division that shapes our community for generations, from the cotton field of slavery to master's house, to everyday people, to melanated people with our beauty, celebrities. People are bleaching themselves to be lighter, to the continent of Africa. It's so many people that's bleaching themselves because they want to be lighter. And it is a billion-dollar industry. It started with the transatlantic slave trade, where light people were treated better. We know, in the master's house, even though history creates it's still indoctrinated in us today. And we need to love each one of us. We need to make sure that we love the skin we in, that we make sure that that we love on each other, because everybody have beautiful brown skin, light skin. All the skins are beautiful. So make sure you embrace, the mental awareness of correcting self-confidence, because I truly believe society could tell you one thing, but what you feel inside of you is another. If you love your skin and you grew up, of course you grew up in that skin, but if you love yourself, you love the skin that you're in. You know what I mean? I personally don't want to be I love my skin. I love when it hits the sun when I'm driving. I love the bronze of my skin. I love everything. I don't know, it's because the compliments I had from my dad, my uncles, brothers or whatever that always told me whatever, so I never thought about it. I have different shades of colors of cousins that are different shades, light skin, dark skin, and I never want to be nobody but myself. I never I wish I was this or wish I was that. I just grew up, like James Brown. James Brown say I'm black and I'm proud. So when I heard that song, and I was a very little girl, a small girl, and I was like, shoot, if he's saying it, baby, it must be real, because he was on Soul Train. He was on everything. So that just stamped for me to be black and proud of the skin that I was in. And I know it's not always easy for other people, but I hope that I'm able to touch somebody and let you know that you love the skin that you're in. We have beautiful models, the really dark model, from light skin models, from the model who have pigmentation. It's really making sure that everybody is included, because it used to be telling me they wasn't. So black is beautiful. The colors are beautiful all over. So little black girl, little light skinned girl, you are beautiful, and know that and wear it. Okay. Don't never let nobody define you. I'm trying to figure out, how could somebody define us, and we are the creators as women. We are the creator. We created. You come from us. So how are you going to tell us what is beautiful? We know what is beautiful, and that is us. Okay, so don't ever forget that. Okay? Make it make sense. All right? I just have to say that. So I also remember the brown paper bag test. And I'm just saying this for people to see how far the ignorance went to black people doing brown paper tests. So if you had a brown paper bag, and you held it up against someone, and if they were darker, then they couldn't get into whatever society that black people had. And I think that's really crazy now when you sit back and think about it. So the darker skinned people could not get in, and the lighter skinned people could. But I also remember a certain celebrity, I won't name her name, that was saying that she used to be Miss America, but she was saying that her hair texture, because they were passing as white. People pass as white, people are still passing as, white. And I'm just like, it can sometimes be hard to be black, but I wouldn't want to be no other color, because God made us and our ancestors made us, and we're standing on very strong people. So it's nothing but God and our ancestors cannot push us forward, okay? So yeah, the paper bag thing, I was just like, oh my God, that's ridiculous. And families put children against families. I can remember, somebody growing up and their sister was calling them blackie, blackie, or whatever, and she actually was playing about it, but that person later, really took that to heart. And so, make sure when your kids, you may call them chocolate, because I call my nieces chocolate, but they love it, and they know I'm saying that out of positivity, because I love their chocolate brown skin. And it's not like, oh, da-da-da. My nieces are beautiful, okay? And so I want you to make sure to be very cautious when you talk about skin and colorism, because we need to dispel that, okay? Any conflict or hurt, feeling, people get older and they carry that complex. But I'm so glad that we have a platform to be able to dismiss that stuff, to be able to have models of all shades, models of all shapes, because we come in all shapes and color, and we're beautiful inside and out. It's just like lady giving compliments, us as African American women see a beautiful black woman with a beautiful black skin or a lovely dress or a nice purse, and we're like, girl, you're doing that. That's what we have to give that confidence back to one another, because we realize that the world is against African Americans, and we cannot be against each other, okay? And society cannot tell us how we're supposed to look, because we are the creators. Everybody comes from us, okay? So look at here, they better step and look. Okay, so just make sure that you're very conscious about that when you have your daughters growing up, your grandkids growing up, any of your children's boys, to make sure that they know that they are loved and their skin is beautiful, exactly what it is. And we need to throw all that crap out. Don't even buy it. I don't have it, but throw that crap out. That bleaching stuff, it shows a lot of insecurity, and that's the problem I talk about. This platform is What's Up Wednesday. Everything mental health. So we talk about everything mental health. That goes along with colorism, because that deals with your unhealthy part of mental health. And I want you to look in the mirror and find everything that you love about you. Your skin, your eyebrows, your eyes, everything you love, because that's what God created, and that's who you are. And you want to make sure to love the skin you're in. Love yourself first. Don't go looking for validation from somebody. Love you. When you get up in the morning and say, I love me for me. You understand? I love my brown skin. I love my dark skin. I love my whatever skin. I love my skin. You love your lips. You love your cheeks, ears, whatever you love. I just remember someone painting a picture of someone, they were like, maybe like 50 or 60 or something. And the person took all their wrinkles out, took all their frown, everything out, and they're like, hold on, wait a minute, because you almost made me a bland person. I need my features back. I need my cheekbones back. I need all that back. You need to put my color the way it is, because that's not my color. I remember my niece telling me something about my little emojis, and the hand was this color. I'm like, I don't really care about the color of the hands or whatever. They was yellow. I didn't even know how to switch it to dark, whatever. But my niece helped me. But women, we have to make sure that we love on each other and love ourselves, because nobody's coming to save us, okay? So we got to join in, and we got to love on each other. Like we talk about all this bleaching, and like I said, it's $2 billion for somebody to say that they don't love who they are. Like you look at white chicks, and there's a celebrity that look like one of the white chicks, and I'm like, oh my God, if somebody had, was looking, they'd be like, they don't love themselves, because she was a beautiful person before. You know what I mean? But society, that's like Michael Jackson. Society told him that he was beautiful, handsome man before. And now look, he's gone, but you know how society just play. We have to make sure to keep that mental health and love who you are. You know what I mean? And don't change for no one, because God created us exactly who we are, okay? So we want to make sure that all skin tones are beautiful. I cannot say that enough, okay? And like I said, James Brown said it loud and clear, baby. That was the Black national anthem. Say it loud. I'm black and I'm proud. You get to watch him on Soul Train, and James Brown was not playing, okay? And some of my idols was Pam Grier, Foxy Brown in the 70s. You couldn't tell me, baby. She is my everything, my mentor. That lady still at 67, 73 looks amazing with her beautiful brown skin. She's a beautiful woman. And then you got Viola Davis. She's a beautiful dark-skinned woman, but I should not probably say she's a beautiful skin tone. Her skin tone is beautiful. We are beautiful. Okay? Richard Roundtree, baby, was he not fine? It remind me of my dad. Look at Flip Wilson. Y'all remember Flip Wilson? Y'all don't. Go back and watch his old show on on um YouTube. So make sure you go, hey, Tarnisha, how are you? So Richard Roundtree, Flip Wilson, all those talented black people. So I don't know, it's because now we're in the age of so much TV, so many things are coming to you. But me growing up in the 70s or whatever, it wasn't no many TV stations. So when black people came home, you was like everybody, you call everybody on the phone, come watch in the living room. You got one TV or whatever, but it just, I think the 70s just brought a self of pride, a self of, my black is beautiful before even that cliche came out. But like I said, James Brown was like, that's the national anthem. So I was like, if he's saying he on Soul Train, and okay, we're going to talk about Don Cornelius with the big afro, So the thing about it is we have to make sure a lot of things we have to go back to. We come, like I said, we come in all sizes, shapes, like I said, when the sunlight hits my skin, I'm like, oh, that's so pretty. That's rare. Everybody ain't got that tone that we have. So believe me, love the skin you're in. It's men out there who love all shades, okay? So you don't have to be, you just need to structure yourself and become confident in who you are, okay? That's the number one thing. Ketanji Brown, Jackson, the Supreme Justice, beautiful woman, beautiful teeth, beautiful smile. I love her she's smart, she's beautiful. I love everything about her, okay? We are Michelle Obama, okay? When Michelle hit First Lady, we all thought we was First Lady, okay? So that's the confidence. When you grow up, Viola Davis, like I said, Debbie Allen. We are Debbie Allen. We are Felicia Rashad. We are Kiki Shepard, okay? She's beautiful. When I saw that lady Grace with that little pixie cut coming across the Showtime at the Apollo stage, I was like, that is everything. I love my black women. I love everyone, but I love to see them because we go through a lot, and it takes a lot for us to get ourselves together and get out there with that. But baby, when other sisters tell us that we good, we got to unite, okay? Because they trying to destroy us, and we sit on our ancestors' shoulders. We know. We sit on Sojourner Truth. Baby, what she do? Everything. Harriet. I talked about Harriet Tubman. Harriet Tubman did everything. Her strength, courageousness, everything. The beauty of Harriet. Okay? Some people may say beauty is skin deep. Yeah, it's your personality. Because you could be pretty on the outside, but you got a stank attitude. And don't nobody doing no stank attitude. Okay? Period. So we want to be beautiful inside and out. We want to be, when I see a sister, a lady, then we're like, hey, or I can be able to compliment you when you accept that and not be looking like, oh, crazy. We got to change that whole thing. That whole trajectory of the brown child and different things, and, just make sure that, I cannot stress it enough, because I just keep seeing it everywhere. And I also had saw a program on YouTube. I'm always on YouTube. So I had saw the program on YouTube, and it had 3 African Americans, women, 3 women was from Africa, 3 women that were mixed, and they just talked about their experience of colorism, and how one girl, the light skinned girl, went to school and they always was fighting her. One girl, somebody just literally cut her hair. Can you imagine your child coming home and somebody cut her hair, just being mean and spiteful? And then the African women also, they didn't have a lot of that, but I think seeing more of what America deems as standard beauty. Because I could tell you, when I went to Nigeria, everybody up in there was just beautiful. I just love seeing different shades. People who are like, I think I know him. No, we don't. But they just have beautiful shades. But just to say that somebody's going to kind of tell you what you should look like, that your beautiful brown skin is not good enough. Make that make sense. But everybody originated from who? Mwa. From me, Tarnisha. Yes. So we gotta make sure, keep that in perspective, okay? Let us skin you in. I remember attending the African American Women's Conference, and that one particular conference, because I used to go every year, one particular conference, Malcolm X's daughter spoke. And she spoke about who he was and how society, you know, had misunderstood him or just wanted to put their own negative thought on him. But she described her dad as a gentle guy, a loving father. And she also said that growing up, her father would always tell her how beautiful her and her sisters were. And then I think her grandmother or someone, back then was like your grandmother aunt living with you, bought her a book. And I know I had talked about this book before, Color Me Brown. And in the coloring book, it had drawings of African Americans, but it also had color me heroic, color me beautiful, color me courageous. So it had positive affirmations. And that's a book those are things that we have to always, make sure that our kids have, because there's so much negativity is coming. So when you sit down or you take your kids to certain things, then you want them to see people who look like them. And then that's when they know they can do it. Okay? And I just love that book. I bought that book for my daughter, Imani, when she was small. And she was just saying how that book just changed her life. It just made her feel so much better about herself. Just like I say, we have to be very conscious, because sometimes families, they pit their kids against each other. And you want to make sure when you're having family dinners or you're having conversation that you don't, say, oh, well, light skin this or dark skin that or something like that, because you could easily get, as a parent, you are your child's first cheerleader, fan. And what you say hurts them. You may be like, oh, that's nothing. No, when you really get down, you need to watch what you say around your kids, because it can cause a lot of conflict. A lot of people would say, even I think Oprah had mentioned that her mom had her sleeping out on the porch because she was darker. Could you imagine that? So this colorism has got to stop. And I hope this conversation continues to go, and we are very conscious about erasing colorism. From one celebrity to another, bleaching, we need to stop that. Come out, like I love watching, it was the Essence, Black Women Essence. And it was so nice just to see, I'm all about my people now. It was so nice to see black people standing up there giving each other their flowers, black women that were giving each other their flowers. We have to do that a lot. We have to remember to do that. Why are we angry of another black woman? You know what I mean? Why we don't help that person? I remember somebody came in my office looking for a job. I ain't know her. But guess what? I gave her an envelope, wrote my name down, and told her to go next door and get hired. Okay? That's what we need to start doing. Lifting each other up, because there's so many of out there that's struggling, that think nobody care. When you think about your friend, call your friend. You know what I mean? Don't hesitate when you see a woman that's looking sad and be like, hey, sister girl, it's going to be okay. You just never know that you make that person day. We got to do better, because this society is just crumbling. I mean, crumbling, okay? Crumbling. Don't you remember back in the day when they would talk about, light-skinned dudes is in? I think that was the Players Club. I can't remember that actor. He was talking about, yeah, we coming back. They ain't really never left, I guess. Now maybe switched over to other people. But I just want to make sure that you guys know you are loved by me. You are beautiful. And to make sure that you love on each other and stop that fake narrative of somebody telling you what beauty look like, because you are beautiful. So make sure that when you go out, like that movie White Chicks, that movie White Chicks is so ugly. So just make sure that you love the skin you're in, and I wanted to make sure that I brought this to you guys and talk about it. So other than that, Tarnisha, how you doing? A shout out to my people on TikTok. How are you guys? Thank you so much for tuning in. My people of YouTube, if you miss any of my segments, please follow me on YouTube. This is my 10th episode. I'm really excited about that. I just felt that we need to talk about a lot of things, and if not me, then who? If not when? If not now, then when? Because so many people have so many platforms, and I think, like I said, the cell phones last week, and people are tired of being on social media. They want some interaction. They want some substance in a conversation. Some people need, like, I need to be guided somewhere. I remember just, talking to young students, and they like, nobody's guiding us. Where are we going? How are we going to do this? How we can maneuver that? We have to start, talking to our kids and lifting our kids up, lifting up our black girls, lifting up our black boys, lifting up our kids. We have to make sure of that, because it's only us. When we gone, we gone, because everybody else is doing what they need to do. So make sure, no more colorism, guys. No more thinking about who color this or he cute or whatever. But they could be cute though. They could be cute. But I'm just saying, make sure that you love yourself. So, I know I'm going to be leaving early to this week, but I just want to come and tell you guys that and let you know. So thank you so much for tuning in on my 10th anniversary, 10th segment. So thank you, and good night, good night, good night. Yeah, I was finished early.